Well, I was going to do a step-by-step mount my camera, show you guys everything I was doing, putting it all together. But I was following the steps that come in this instruction manual, and they are so freaking easy to follow. So I'm just gonna walk you through because this is it. And I've been migrating my other 3D printer. Isn't it crazy to see the contrast? I've been migrating it into this room. Anyway, so this is my palette. I need to set the thing up. I haven't put it since we moved to this house. But anyway, so got my two printers. I followed the instructions to the letter so far. I haven't turned it on or anything like that, but I did confirm that my order was for 2.5 kilograms. So I sent them an email and I explained and I took a picture that I got the 0.5 kilogram because that's the other option. And so, you know, it's probably just a mistake on their part, but I do have the order number to prove it. And so I send them an email and I'll let you guys know how it goes with AnyCubic. Anyway, here's what I did. First step, I took the gantry and I put it on. There's 4 screws and you just shove them up underneath the bottom there. You can kind of see them right there and right there. So, you know, put them in loose and then tighten all 4 once all 4 are in. Next is to install the T-joints, and they use those T-locks. And this was very simple. So did that on that, did that on this. Unlike the Net ET5, these were very well machined aluminum extrusions. And so that was really nice. That came together so easily. The next step, well, okay, before I started any of this, obviously I took off the plate and I took off all the straps, right? I did get one small scuff, which you can probably barely see on camera right there. And that's because I took the thing off after I put the gantry on. So when you get yours, make sure to take the paper off because it's got this really sticky, it's got like a glue surface on one side. And so this is what came off that. And I had to pull mine out from underneath and it caused that scuffing. So that's my own bad, but man, the way this feels, it is so nice. Anyway, I did do a few things. I made sure that everything in here was solid. There's absolutely no shift in the hot end. So everything in there, I haven't taken it apart. And because there was no wobble, I'm not going to right now unless I start seeing some issues, because everything looks fantastic when it came to the machining of these parts. I've been giving everything a close inspection, checking all the nuts and bolts, making sure everything is tight all over the machine. So anyway, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So I installed the gantry. And then next I flipped this screen around. It came with the 2 nuts there. They're just T-joints like on the, or T-nuts or whatever, like these guys. And so you just pop them out, they go like that, you pull it out, you move it over there. So simple. Everything's already plugged in except for the Z end stops right here and the Z motors. And so I had to clip in those 2 and those 2, and then what else did I have to do? Gosh, I mean, there's a reason why everything in this instruction manual for assembly is like maybe 3 pages. And I can't even remember, it was so simple. So I'm getting out the manual right now to review because I literally just followed this step by step. And I also looked at Nexitech's YouTube video, which I will include in the description of this video if I remember when I'm uploading. His product review, I guess it's his final version because he received like a beta version, which I hear is actually happening more and more in the market of 3D printers, which is unfortunate in my opinion that they can't do their own quality control and they rely on YouTube reviews to find all the kinks and stuff and kind of treat it like a beta test. But mine has had no issue. But yeah, I installed the gantry, 4 screws. I mean, look at these instructions. They're in easily understood English. They have plenty of pictures with little arrows going through everything. It was so simple. So I installed that. I flipped around the screen. That's right, I started plugging everything in. And then yeah, I installed that. The what's it called? filament holder. It said to do it about 140 millimeters, but what I did was, because they sent me this 0.5 kilogram one, I took out this huge Amazon whatever filament. I have mixed reviews about this, but that's not the focus of this video. But this is a really huge fat spool, and so I stuck it on there and it handles it just fine, and I just wanted to make sure to line it up so that it wouldn't interfere with the motor. These wires are pretty flexible. I'm not super worried about them unless they start really wearing on the connectors, but that connector is hot glued on, and this one goes into that chain, so I'm not too worried about that. But that's what I did next. I installed the holder, and then I haven't gotten to this step yet of plugging it in and turning it on, which I'm going to do in another video. But I just wanted to review a couple of my findings that I did have very minor issues with, but I'll start with the good. First, I tested for any wobble in the bed, and there is none. And then doing a visual inspection on the gap with the wheels on these aluminum extrusions, I don't see any gaps anywhere, and everything seems nice and tight, so that's good. The belts on mine are still pretty taut, and so I'm not going to worry about adjusting those unless I see any performance issues that I want to try and troubleshoot with that. What else did I double check and look over? There was like 1 or 2 loose bolts over here on the Z gantry, and so when you twist these Allen wrenches, you get this guy twisting a little bit, and it's not too bad actually. They're in lock nuts, so they've got the rubber in there. And oh, I gotta go. He's calling me. He needs my help. He arranged something earlier, but anyway, I'll review this later, but it went really well. Anyway, talk to y'all later.